Louisville takes on NC State this Friday night in Carter Finley Stadium in Cary, North Carolina, or Raleigh, North Carolina, whichever you prefer. This game, guys, should be one that probably will highlight the slate on Friday night. I think Utah and Oregon State has a lot of potential, but we've already put out a video on that one. You can go see it. This game is kind of interesting to me because when you look at it on paper, NC State has a pretty good defense. They've been consistently good defensively all season. Even for the last couple of years, their defense has been what's kept them in games. That's not going to change here against Louisville. Then you get Louisville's offense that's putting up 542 yards per game, putting up they've scored basically 39 points or more 3 times already out of their 4 games. Given the quality of opponent may not have been elite, but you've already got 3 Power 5 wins, so that's something that you can kind of look forward to. NC State, on the other hand, with a loss to Notre Dame by double digits, 3 scores actually. So it's a very intriguing matchup. What I want to do first is, instead of showing you just the fun stuff, the usual, we're going to swap to the College Football Nerds model prediction, and you can just kind of compare. This is Louisville versus NC State. Louisville averaging 9.16 yards per play. NC State averaging 5. 13.47 passing yards per play. NC State averaging 7. Yards per carry 5 to 4, 5, almost 6 to 3.5. That's where I think this game is going to be won and lost. I think it's going to come down to what style of game are we going to play here. I think if NC State is able to play their style of defense and get just a few 3-and-outs to where Louisville doesn't go score 40 or 50 points, I think NC State could ultimately be in a position to win this game at the end. But if you get into a shootout, I don't think you're going to be able to hang with them. Brennan Armstrong's got 5 touchdowns, 4 picks on the year. He hasn't looked that great. Louisville, on the other hand, you can see their yards per carry offense, yards per attempt offense for rushing and passing are both in really good margins compared to NC State's defense. Same thing for Louisville's rush defense against NC State's offense in the plus territory. Now, NC State's offense may have the slight edge over Louisville's passing defense, but I don't think that's going to matter ultimately too much because NC State's going to try to run the football. So, again, let's look here. 542 yards offense to 381. NC State has only scored more than 24 points one time, and that was against VMI. They have 2 wins where they've scored 24 points, and that's where I iterate that NC State's defense is what keeps them in games. They should have lost to Virginia, should have lost to UConn. If had those been quality opponents, they probably would have. But, again, if you're able to score 24 and win a football game in college football, it's a pretty good place to be. Now, you scored 24 against Notre Dame and still lost, but that is Notre Dame, in my opinion, a top 5 team. Or we'll say top 7, somewhere in there. It might as well be top 5. On the flip side of that, Louisville, 56-28 against Boston College. Then you go and you play Indiana at home, 21-14. 56-0 against Murray State, 39-34 against Georgia Tech. We all watched that one on, when was that? It wasn't Labor Day. Maybe it was that Sunday night game. Regardless, the only question mark I have right now, NC State plays really good at home. Look at their game against Notre Dame was at home this year. They played competitively in the ACC last year with their home games. But look at, there's one thing in particular about this Louisville-Indiana game. 13 for 23 out of Jake Plummer. And then 7 for 12 on third downs. Indiana's not a bad team, guys. They're not great, but they're not bad. Okay. I held them to 5 for 13 on third downs, which is good. And then just no penalties. You didn't really beat yourself, and you were still able to win a pretty good contest. I see this being a Louisville versus Indiana type of game. Go back to Boston College last week. This is Boston College coming off of a almost comeback win against Florida State. Troy Castellanos, 265 yards, 3 touchdowns, but the completion percentage wasn't there. Plummer, 5 touchdowns. If he's able to do that against NC State's defense, NC State don't stand a chance. Again, 8 for 13 on third downs. No penalties. 18 for 21 passing the ball. 18.5 yards per pass. That's the real kicker here for Louisville. Plummer, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Let's go back here. Third downs. 1 for 11. They went 1 for 11 to start the year on third downs, and then they've completely turned things around since then. Third down consistency and being able to just light up the scoreboard, and Louisville's going to win this game by a million. NC State, though, what do you have kind of in your pocket? This is Louisville's first true road game of the year. I mean, they play Georgia Tech. I think this game is in Atlanta. Mercedes-Benz. But it's a true road game for them. They're going to your place. They're going to your place on a Friday night. Nonetheless, Friday night games are always weird. Oregon State and Utah is going to be weird as well. Jacksonville State versus Sam Houston on Thursday. JSU undoubtedly should win that game very easily. It's a Thursday night game. Sam Houston has sucked all year, so chances are they're probably going to win that game just because why not? So that is my prediction on this game. I think Louisville's 3-point favorites. I would probably take that just because I think if you're going to take this game, you take Louisville against the spread, you take NC State money line. NC State +3, I don't think it's going to happen. It obviously could. I just don't see it. I think Louisville wins big. Or I think NC State wins outright. I don't think NC State loses by 1 or 2 points. But the key to NC State in this game, hold Louisville to less than 30, and you have a chance. But Louisville, I think if you can just score 30 points, you're going to win this game pretty easily. I don't think NC State puts up 27. That's my opinion. I'll go 33-24. Louisville wins it. Let me know in the comment section how you guys see this game playing out. And hit that subscribe button. We are close to 500. I really appreciate it if we could get there sooner rather than later. Appreciate it.